Welcome to Slayerfest 98. I'm Ian Carlos Crawford.
And I'm Brett White, and today we are joined by the host of Netflix's Tiny Mike,
Michael Brown. Hi.
Hello, Michael. I feel like we have been talking about having you on for a long time now.
I have been harassing you for years. Let's be real. I have been sliding into those DMs like, do you need me yet? Is it time?
Well, I'm glad to finally have you. It happened. It happened. See?
It did. Dreams come true.
Yeah. So we're here to talk Buffy Season 3's choices for the episode's 25th anniversary.
Choices.
It has been funny because every time I've said this episode, I kept saying consequences. When I first asked Michael to come on,
Yes.
I said and Brett was like, you mean choices, Ian? And I was like, oh, right. Yes, that's the episode I mean.
I specifically said the episode where Oz knocks over the thing.
Yes.
Because that's
iconic.
That's the moment for me.
Michael, what did you think about this episode in general when you revisited it?
This is like a fun episode because it is definitely like a season arc episode, but it also feels like a small bottle episode.
Yeah.
Everyone gets to have like their own little solo mission within like 2 locations, and it's fun. And I think that it feels like a unassuming episode, but there's so much that actually happens, especially for Willow. And I was like, oh, actually, this is a character defining episode for her a little bit for the season.
Yeah. Even like, all of us have watched these episodes so many times. I like forgot how much, because like I always think of Doppelgangland as like,
Yes.
oh, that's like her change, but it feels like Doppelgangland and this are kind of the ones that like inform her moving forward. So yeah, I love that. Brett, what do you think of this episode? Because you requested this when I sent all the co-hosts an email. You requested this one.
Yeah, I mean, because I knew that all the A-list season 3 episodes would easily get taken. So I was like, what is my deep cut fave? And I remember like, I loved this episode, because back when this aired 25 years ago, we didn't have superhero TV at all. And I remember watching this being like, oh my God, this feels like Night of the Sentinels. Like it feels like an X-Men episode almost, because it's weird how few times it feels like the Scoobies are a team. Yeah. Like that they are like operating in concert with each other. They all have roles. They like having all of them show up to that clandestine cafeteria showdown. Like it's like, oh yeah, like they're the X-Men. Like it feels really I remember like it feeling like just like super cool. Yeah. Unfortunately, Cordelia is on the outs at this point, so she couldn't read The Mayor to Filth.
I would have loved that.
And yeah, so like I just remember like loving that about this episode, because it also feels very rare that the gang is that proactive. Like the whole reason this all starts is because Buffy's like, "Why are we waiting?"
Yeah, yeah.
So I loved that.
And we don't like. This is like one of the first times where it's like, oh, she's just going to be proactive, and then we kind of like get a little more of that. We start in the mayor's office, right? And he's giving Faith a present. I really, really wish this knife had been longer. Like, I wish he had given her the knife, like
lengthwise. You wanted to be a sword?
No. You know what I mean? Like, it would have made sense if he gave her this, like, the day after she started working for him, or the day she did. And it almost feels a little bit like they were writing Graduation Day when this episode was about to air, and they were like, how's she going to defeat his human? Well, we got to have him give Faith a gift. Well, let's just throw that in this episode, because she only has it for like a day.
Yeah.
Also, I still don't understand why she didn't go get it back.
Yeah, that lingering shot. Yeah, it was like a two cuts back to the night. Like she could have walked over and gotten it.
It's right there.
Like Wesley isn't going to fight her over a night. Like, and there's a little bit of Faith that's a little over the place, which I've been trying to reconcile with. Well, Faith is kind of all over the place because I'm like, I don't know. She saves him here, and then next year on Angel, she like tortures the shit out of him. So I get a little like with Faith. I wish but also I'm like, but she's chaotic, so I guess like that could be a reflex. She just saved him, but she still doesn't like him. Anyway, she gets her knife. Buffy and Angel have their little cemetery thing. Cut to post credits, and Joyce comes in, and I gotta say, it is nice seeing Joyce. I'm not a Joyce hater. I'm kind of indifferent about Joyce. She just annoys me sometimes, but I still cry about her in season 5 moving forward. But it's nice to see Joyce being just excited about her daughter. Like, she's not there to nag her. She's not there to be like, oh, Buffy, take your sister. Or like, oh, Buffy, what'd you do? And it's just, she's just happy and excited that her daughter was accepted into this college that can like get her out of this crappy town where her daughter is stuck fighting monsters.
Evil.
Yeah. Michael, what do you think of that scene?
I think it's, I mean, I am a Joyce lover, but I do see the nagging of like, it's always like, well, how can you be normal? She's accepted like her quote unquote gay kid. And it's like, but how can we readjust her life so it's a little bit like a normal path? And I do feel like looking back at this, even through like what you're saying, is like, she is just excited for her kid, but also she's excited for her kid to have a normal life. Like maybe my kid won't have to be a Slayer anymore. Maybe my kid can be go with Aunt Eileen. I forget her name. Also, like lore drop. Did not remember she has an Aunt Eileen or Arlene.
I think that's like they name dropped her in this and probably
never again.
Yeah.
Buffy has cousins who like would they ever come back? No.
Maybe it's his dad's sister. Like maybe it's kind of distant.
Oh yeah.
Could be.
I could buy that. Yeah, so they have that little discussion. We also get, which another thing, now I'm having critiques. I'm sorry that I don't love the way Cordelia is portrayed here. I don't love it because we've already done this. Cordelia wavers back and forth a little bit too much this season for me because like we got helpless where like she was like, yeah, of course I'm going to drive you home, Buffy. We got, these episodes where she's like making fun of them, but is helping. And this, she feels like someone who fucking hates them. Like,
what is going on? Because like, I mean, the subplot of this is like, right. Oh my God, Cordelia has to work retail. Yeah. It is interesting how like that's played like in the arms of the angel. But like, so like, is it possible that stuff is going on behind the scenes? Because we get the hint of like Xander, casually mentions daddy's money and she's just like, don't. Like,
yeah.
Like do we really get ever information about what is going on behind the scenes with Cordelia at this point?
Next in prom we learn that her dad like didn't pay his taxes but she says like a specific like long time.
So I could see her being a little bit on edge and pissed,
True.
that she's going, because I don't know, like I guess if Cordelia is going through all that stuff, I guess she doesn't feel close enough to any of the Scoobies to actually confide in them and actually like have a place to release that.
That's true. And that she's not going to tell Harmony.
No. God, that's a great deleted scene of Cordelia trying to have a heart-to-heart with Harmony.
Put that in the comics.
Yeah, so we go back to the library and what is it? Buffy, Cordelia says like college is reserved for those with a future. That really hits Buffy hard. She goes to the library and talking to Wes and Giles. And I gotta say, I love this dynamic of like Buffy and Giles versus Wesley.
Oh yeah.
And like Buffy constantly fucking annoyed with him.
Yeah.
I think I've appreciated it so much more this time around, having gone, we're like halfway through Angel and it's like, I'm appreciating Wesley more, being able to watch and talk about his development for the podcast. And so I just appreciate, he's such a fucking little twerp, but sometimes he's not wrong, right? Like,
oh yeah.
We cut to the airport and what's being delivered, Brett?
A big old box by a guy with a face tattoo. You don't trust guys with face tattoos.
Is that man supposed to be a human is my question.
That's what I was wondering. Did Faith have her second human kill here?
Right? Because like we don't.
Yeah, because he didn't turn into. I feel like if they intended for him to be a demon, they would have he would have turned into something,
or a sound effect at least.
Yeah,
but then like even the vampire was like, oh, "You killed him," and it's like, what the fuck would the vampire care?
Yeah.
And we cut to Xander walking down Main Street, and he sees Cordelia in the dress shop. He goes to. This is where I'm.
Be a dick.
Yeah, but I will say. I'm not a Xander defender at all, but the way she talked to him, I probably would also be petty if I saw that person after that and be like, well, actually, you're the asshole. And I'd end up looking like the asshole because I have definitely been that person because I will hold a grudge and I will remember what you said to me, especially if it was just the day before. I don't remember what I said, but I'll remember what you said.
And Xander was thinking of a comeback and he was lucky to find her. He had been planning that.
Really.
The drugstore called. They're running out of you.
I was just about to reference Simon. Jesus Christ. Yeah, and like that's when she shows all the schools she got into. And I know we're setting this up, but I just don't love I don't love I don't think we needed this. But I guess it kind of sets her up for Angel, right?
But also, like, she doesn't go to any of them.
Right.
What is she doing in LA, right? She's just there trying to be an actress?
Yeah.
Well, I guess that she couldn't pay to go to any of those schools, I guess.
But financial aid alone, there are options.
Yeah. Jana Spenson said this in our Earshot recording that they knew they had to age up Cordelia right away. Like she was like, oh, by Angel season 1, we knew we had to have her acting older. So we kind of rushed, like they did this to make it so they could like, they don't like fake her age, but the character is immediately more adult feeling. Like that doesn't feel like an 18-year-old who's living on her own in an apartment. At 18, there's no way I could afford any apartment, let alone an apartment in LA. Like
that's what haunted or not.
Yeah.
The most wild thing about like Buffy season 6 or 7 is like, they're all 22.
Yeah.
And they're all like going through like broken marriages and losing our jobs and foreclosure and it's like, y'all are, when I was 22, I was living at home going to college. Like,
yeah. Literally. Michael, you're like, well, now that I am 22.
Okay, I'm a little older than 22. I'm 23.
Cut back to the mayor's office, and I love Wesley saying, "Set your watches," and they all just lift up their watchless arms.
That's such a good little joke.
Brett, to your point, that's like also like, I don't know, right? It's so subtle, but it's like real fucking funny. And it's like in the middle of them doing this like mission, but it like lands perfectly. Everyone delivers it with like a flat face, just lifting up their arms. It's a very good beat.
Don't wear watches.
We see Oz setting up.
Because it's like, Wesley hasn't done this kind of, like Wesley's almost cosplaying as an adventurer. Whereas they're like, we do this all the time. Watches never really factor in.
You can't time this.
It's kind of just a wing it kind of thing, especially with us.
We usually just wing it. We're good. Like, we'll figure it out. Willow might get kidnapped. We'll solve it. Whatever. Oz and Xander are setting up. Now, that thing is to coincide with Willow's spell she's doing, right? Or is that for when they get back with the box?
I think it's when they get back with the box. Okay. Yeah.
I wasn't fully sure because I've never, the spell, our editor, Ashley, told me she went to Buffy trivia and one of the questions was about all the spells. And I was like, I don't know that I would have gotten that right. Because like the spells to me are just like, they don't matter. I'm like, I'm just watching. It's fine. Yeah. Like either it'll solve the problem or it'll create a bigger problem or it'll do nothing. And that's fine. But yeah, so we see them setting up. And I do think it's really cute when Xander's like, oh, she even drew stick figures of us. And Oz is like, you can tell that one's me. It has a guitar.
Yes.
That's like very cute Willow detail.
And we also need, in order to set up Oz's emotional arc, which is, of course, subtle as always, you have to have that teeny little moment in order to justify a wordless moment he has later, essentially. Like, it's a nice little setup for that.
Yeah. Buffy and Willow and Angel are up on the roof doing a spell. And then we get our Mission Impossible reference with, what, Michael?
What are these even called? She just... not spelunking. What is this? Repelling? Right?
Kinda.
Yeah, reverse wall climbing. She's doing that. She's being suspended from the ceiling. Full Mission Impossible
style. Equipment.
Yeah. Did everybody raid that like equipment, that like weapons store that they broke into in Bad Girls? Like, what's going on?
It would be funny if there was a subplot of like Xander got a job at like a sporting goods store just to give them access to equipment.
Buffy's like, I know a place, the window's still broken, we can get in.
Yeah. Sunnydale has no one to fix things these days except at the Summers house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or things are fixed within an hour. This is not new to anyone listening, but like, my God, Sarah Michelle Gellar is so good because I love when she's stuck and the vampires rush in, and she's holding the fucking box, like hanging from the ceiling, and just kind of like gives a charming smile and is like, don't suppose you want to help me get down, right? And it's like delivered so good with like, I mean, going back to what you said, Brett, like, right, this is like very Spider-Man superhero-y.
Oh, yeah.
And so they fight. We have a big fight scene in the mayor's office, but they do escape with the box. But while the mayor's pissed about that, who do we find Faith has?
Faith got Willow, y'all. Faith got Willow. Faith got... It's always Willow's the Jean Grey of this show. She's always going to get captured, but she's more competent. I mean, well, Jean Grey is competent, but she fainted a lot in the old show.
Yeah, in the cartoon, she's fainting in the old cartoon, not the new one, though.
No.
So yeah, Faith has Willow, and then we cut to the library, and everyone's kind of arguing. Would we say it's like the ethics of what?
Yeah, it's many versus few. It is Infinity War all over again, baby.
Yeah.
And guess what? Oz just pulled a Star-Lord, everybody. So I'm just saying.
Right.
I hate that this has become the crusade that I have on these episodes.
Michael, what were you saying?
Oh, it's almost the same conversation that Buffy and Faith have in is it Bad Girls or is it Choice? Where Faith is, we are of a different echelon. How many people have we saved? It's just one person. It's the same conversation.
Yeah. Again, I understand Wesley's point. I don't agree with him by any means, but I do understand his point. But my thought process is just, so break in again. I don't know. It worked last time. Do it again. Break in and get her. Like if Buffy and Angel had like gone by that window where Willow's looking out with the bars, both of them together could have easily just smashed in the windows and help her get out, right?
100%.
Again, I know it's a show, so we got to have a conflict, but I don't know why that wasn't like, yeah, just do that again. Yeah, we'll go. No big deal. It worked last time.
I guess, yeah, because you could say that, and then Wesley could point out, well, surely the mayor has reinstalled his mystical protection or whatever that we now don't have Willow to undo. True. Like, yeah, so it would be fun, just a little more back and forth there.
Yeah. That's true. And while they're arguing, Buffy asks Wes if he's made of human parts, and Oz gets up and smashes that fucking cauldron. Giles,
such an iconic. Does Oz say anything?
Mm-mm.
I can't even remember.
He just looks at them, and that's why Oz is my forever Buffy crush, because he's so handsome, and I love Michael. We mentioned this when we were talking about this episode. In DMs, the strawberry blonde worked so well on him.
So true. The many hair colors of Oz.
Yeah. So Buffy says, make the call, and we cut to the Sunnydale cafeteria, which rewatching it for this, in my brain, this was like a good 25-minute scene.
This is half the episode in my brain.
Right? Yeah. Like, I was like, oh, it's over? That's it? Like, in my brain, this is, because I think this is a really, really good scene. And it's different. Like, we get an action scene, but it's different than a lot of, like, Buffy. I don't know. Like, it's kind of, I enjoy seeing it, like, they're all getting attacked. It's, like, no one is, like, with the spiders are just right. They're just, like, these, like, monster demon spiders. There's no, like...
No one's on Team Spider, yeah.
Right.
It's spiders on Team No One as well.
Right, yes.
Yeah. I also forgot that this is the first time he meets Buffy.
Yes.
Yeah, crazy.
Which is like, this is late in the season, and that kind of makes this even, that buildup. It's a huge moment for them to finally come face to face in the Sunnydale cafeteria.
There are 3 episodes left of the season, and this is like, that is wild. And it's also a credit to the show, because there are times when that would not work, right? Where the villain is just always in a scene by himself. But Buffy, as we all agree, is a step above a lot of other TV. So like, you're not like, why the fuck haven't they met yet? That's stupid. It's just like, holy shit, they haven't met yet? This is the first time? But you're like not thinking of it till it happens.
Right. Because, the mayor literally and metaphorically never gets his hands dirty.
Right.
And he was forced to this time. Like, I have to step in. I cannot have somebody do this for me because my team keeps fucking up.
I gotta eat these spiders.
Yeah, excuse me, I'm so hungry.
And he just uses it to twist the knife. Just he doesn't have to go on a monologue about how Buffy and Angel's relationship is due, but he's like, let's just have some fun.
I was just about to say, I kind of love how hard he goes in, and I kind of love, this is what Buffy always does really fucking well, where it's like Cordelia and Anya, who are like the mean girls / the more outsider ones, always are like, and Spike, when he's part of the Scoobies, are always the one that are reading them for filth in accurate ways.
Yeah.
And we also get the villains. Like, he's right, you know? Like, Buffy and Angel had this conversation at the top of the episode where she says, I forget what she says, something like, when I'm 50 and you're whatever age you are now, the mayor's not wrong. And he has, you know, he's been through it. It's not like he's just, I mean, he is being an asshole, but he's also like using his life experience. Like, he talks about his wife and how awful that was watching her die. I like that we're humanizing him too, but also he's like being a bad guy, right?
And he's literally he's the catalyst for why Angel the series even happens. I feel like this is the moment where Angel's like, oh, I have to leave. When he's like, is this what you came back from hell for? Is this your greater purpose? That is literally the log line for Angel. So he just set up the whole show.
He's like, use that later. It'll work.
Yeah. It'll run for 5 seasons. You're good.
But in the middle of that, he gets annoyed. Well, not in the middle. At the end of his little monologuing, he gets annoyed. And in walks who, Brett?
Oh my God, fucking Snyder, man! Like, it's what an asshole principal. Like, did he thought it was a drug deal. He called the cops and was like, "Well, obviously, I need to be there too."
A testament to what we were saying before about actors. Armin Shimmerman is just what an iconic. I mean, he himself is like I think an acting coach as well, and like wow, what a solid performance. I hated him, but he's the nicest person in the world.
I agree that like you hate him, but I love to hate him. I think Snyder.
Oh yeah, he's so well, and also like at the end of this, when he's like, "Why can't you just deal drugs like normal people?"
So yeah, we get this. Faith saves Wesley, throws her knife in the wall, kills the spider, leaves her knife, which is important for later.
For some reason,
we cut to the library. Well, we get Snyder's line, which you already mentioned, Brett, of why couldn't you be dealing drugs like normal people, which I love. Cut to the library, and this is such a small beat, but I found it so charming, right? Because Allison Hannigan and Sarah Michelle Gellar are always so good at like the best friend moments. Like they play them so well. And sometimes I forget these are supposed to, like you said, Michael, supposed to be children and not like, you know, mid 20-year-olds. And I like Willow being like, and so Faith was like, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And I was like, you betrayed Buffy. You lost it. Like that feels very real, right? Like two best friends just being like, oh my God, you're never going to believe what happened.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, always.
I told her off for you. Like, I got you.
Like, don't you worry. I have your back. A girl's girl.
Yeah. And then I love that we get Giles is like, okay, but is there anything you remember? Is there anything you read? And she's like, well, I didn't fully read the stuff, but I got some pages. Like, I was like,
yeah, that's so good. It's such a good. It makes the episode matter because otherwise it'd be like, what did we learn?
True. And I just love that Willow held it out to the very end because she just knew that like she would get a little pat in the head from Giles. It's like, I just want this as well. This is such a great moment for me. Let's do it. Let's one up it.
Which, like, I get, girl. I always need the validation as well. Like, if I'm going to do the fucking thing, I need the validation and the pat on the back.
Exactly.
Well, especially because, I mean, she risked her life. She totally Mission Impossibled her way through that entire mayor's mansion. Does he live in a mansion?
I think it's just the mayor's office.
Yeah.
His office. Yeah, his office.
There are like 3 different ending wrap-ups here.
Yeah.
I kept being like, oh, it's over. Nope. Oh, nope, not yet. Willow and Buffy are talking by the tree on campus and talking about colleges. And we already went over like Willow staying, but I like that even though Buffy's excited, she wants more for Willow, right? And you get that because Buffy knows how like kind of locked to Sunnydale she is, and she doesn't want her best friend to be locked, but she is excited about it, of course.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're just always so good at these best friend moments. I often have to remind myself they were not that close in real life.
Yeah.
But you know, and she's like, I kind of love you. And then they hug and like, they decide to go get mochas. And it's cute, right? It's like a nice, cute little scene.
Oh, yeah. It's a great scene.
Yeah, it's so cute. I mean, we can talk about how bad the ADR is, but...
Yes. Yeah,
I was like, Sarah Michelle Gellar, her lip flaps are not matching up. But that's not anyone's fault. But it is such a great scene. And it really goes back to like, it's another choice in this episode. This episode is very aptly named because Willow makes a choice here. And I think it's fantastic.
Yeah. Michael, I hadn't even thought about that. That's
How many choices can there be in this episode? Angel chooses to leave Sunnydale in his brain. We don't hear it, but he definitely does. Willow chooses to stay. So many choices.
Yep. And in very, very Buffy fashion of like, what does Buffy say? Like, sometimes you look at something and it's entirely different than it is. And Willow says, that's neat. And then we get the like 2-second cut of Cordy looking at herself in the mirror with holding the dress. And we learn what, Michael?
She's working. She's doing labor.
Oh no, retail.
No.
I get it, but also I'm like, I don't know, in my 30s I still had to work retail. Like
This isn't the end of the world. Also, if Cordy like I don't want to spoil the next episode where she is ashamed to be working there, but she has a car. She could have worked outside of Sunnydale at a retail shop if she didn't want her high school friends to find out that she works. I will say that.
I guess maybe it's like she wanted the discount because that's a dress she wanted, maybe.
True. Okay, she's optimizing.
Yeah, we're trying to. We end on Angel and Buffy, and they are in heavy denial about what the man. Like she's literally like, he was so wrong, even though I said the same thing the day before. I love the like, we'll be okay, we will, and then like Angel looks like he has bug eyes. He's like, fuck. And yeah, that's where we end the episode. Michael, favorite scene?
Oh, my favorite scene is the decimation of Faith by Willow.
Nice.
It is. I just think that is the most un-Willow moment we've ever had in this series thus far, and I feel like she learned a lot from Cordelia in that moment, and Cordelia also had like that, scathing remark to Buffy, and I think Willow's like, I want to keep that in the back of my head and use it at some point, and she did.
Yeah.
So congrats to her.
I love the idea of her being like, wait, that was a good one. Let me use that later. Brett, what was your favorite scene?
What if she had asked Faith if she'd seen the harder side of Sears?
Ooh, good callback, yes.
Yeah. No, I mean, Oz knocking over the thing, the big bowl. I mean, I have to give it to that just because that's the one that's stuck in my head for 25 years. It's the definitive.
I love that that's the reason you wanted to be on for this episode, Brett.
Well, and also just because overall this feels, it feels very much like Night of the Sentinels. Yeah. Like it has that same kind of energy to it. Love when my Scoobies are the X-Men. Or Michael, X-Force. They're more X-Force.
Michael, are you an X-Men gal? I don't know if I know this. It's okay if you're not.
I'm not. Here, okay. I'll say that. I'm not. Okay. I know enough.
All right. My favorite scene is the whole cafeteria. I know that's kind of cheating, but I love it. Feels different, but it still works with Buffy. It doesn't feel like, oh, this is too different. It's awkward, but it's different enough. It's like they don't do a lot in that cafeteria, right? Like they had just used it for what felt like the first time for an action scene in the previous episode where she fights the cafeteria lady. What a sentence.
You mean that man, that wrestler?
Yeah. And I love it being the spiders are team no one. Everyone has to fight. I love all of that. Favorite outfit, Brett?
Oh, Giles watching Buffy read Wesley is just like that. Because I think he's wearing like a very like nice, like rich blue shirt, and like the suspenders is very very hot.
Michael?
Because everyone else, like Cordelia's outfit this episode is very like, did you enroll the Catholic schoolgirl? Catholic school on the side? I don't know.
They love dressing her like that sometimes, though.
Yeah, like a principal.
Preppy.
Michael, what was your favorite outfit?
Mine was Buffy's second to last outfit, where she's wearing tank top, long leather jacket, some puka shells, and jeans and boots. She's basically cosplaying Angel here a little bit. I think it's really interesting. I thought it was very interesting that her and Willow are having conversations about their future while Buffy is dressed as Angel a little bit. And then in the next scene, she changes her headband to like a girlier headband when she's talking with Angel. I loved those moments.
My favorite outfit was like her Mission Impossible look. I don't know why, but I love I think the dark red leather like jacket really works on her. And then the shirt is like I couldn't tell because it's the 90s if it's a two-tone shirt or literally two shirts on top of each other, but it's like a brighter pink and a darker pink.
Yeah, I think it has to be two shirts. I mean, that layering, if you're not wearing 3 tank tops in like the late 90s, but you weren't wearing clothes.
Yeah. God, just camisoles on top of camisoles. What was up with that?
And before we get to grades, Michael, there's something I wanted to ask you at the top of this episode that just occurred to me. I did not ask you yet.
Oh.
because there are very few people that have come on this podcast that can say they've done this. You have interviewed Sarah Michelle Gellar. Tell me about it.
Oh my God. The best moment of my life. The only reason why I have this job. No, just kidding. Don't fire me. Iconic. She's exactly what you thought she would be.
Yeah.
Quick-witted, nice, kind of like such a pro. I think I did make like a huge mistake, and here I'll do this. I made like a huge mistake where one of the questions was, we used to play a game called This or That, or like Bop or Flop. And I said, Bop or Flop bucket hats. And she said flop. And I was like, I feel like you have pulled off a bucket hat. Like, I feel like you've worn one. And I didn't want to be like, I've definitely probably seen you on Buffy, but she was like, I don't think so. There's no way. And I was like, and I was like, I can't say anything here. So I was like, you know what? I still feel like you could pull one off. And then I Googled it later, and she was right. She's never worn a bucket hat once in any photo shoot, any screenshot from Buffy in 144 episodes, not a single time. So Sarah was right. I was wrong. And this is my public apology. So I'm so sorry. And I will never bring that up again at the next thing I interview you at.
Yes, because Michael, also your tiny mic interviews are like always very fucking charming. Like,
thank you. They're fun to do.
I think of your Sarah Michelle Gellar one, and I think of your Millie Bobby Brown one often.
My sister, my cousin, my twin. She's Millie Bobby Brown. I'm Michael and Boy and Brown. We are related.
Wait,
we're not.
Okay, I was like, what?
we are simply not. I'm also 2 decades older than her, I think.
Really? Well, but I think of, what is it? Like, I don't even remember how it went, but I think of both of you being like, okay, bye. And like vibing with your both like slipping into like a little bit shitty, but like clearly on the same page and like not being shitty. So
yeah, it's like, this interview is over. So good to see you. I will see you at the next one, I'm sure.
All right. What grade do we give this episode, Brett?
I mean, I think like a B plus. I mean, like, I think that it is a solid B's a good grade.
Yes. No, correct. It is. Yeah. Michael.
Yeah, I mean, B's are what Buffy probably got. So I will also say B plus. It's not, it's not a smash, but like I really enjoyed rewatching it, and we'll definitely like go back and like think about this episode the next rewatch. Like I can't wait to get to the choices.
Yeah. I think I give it a B plus as well, because it's not, there's no world in which it's like bad, but it's still good. It's still really good. So yeah, B plus. Thank you both for joining me. Thank you all for listening. And if you're listening to this on the Patreon, thank you for being part of the Patreon. Michael, tell everyone where they can find you.
Hi, yeah, you can find me at Boy in Question, which is based off the Angel episode, The Girl in Question, on Instagram, Twitter, or X. I don't really tweet anymore. TikTok, or my email.
Brett, where can everyone find you when you're writing?
Oh, you can read my words at decider.com. You can also see me on the season 4 premiere of HBO's We're Here, where I am doing drag as Barb Hardley.
Wait. What? Really?
Say more.
Yeah. No, We're Here for season 4. They filmed the first 3 episodes in my hometown of Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And they hosted an open show at the Borough Bar and Grill, which is the bar that I came out of the closet at 18 years ago. Literally. And I went back to Tennessee and I did drag as part of the open call. And I'm in the episode. And I say, November 5th, 2005, I kissed a boy and came over here and told my 3 best friends, and they actually show my best friends. It's really cool.
Oh my God.
So yeah, We're Here season 4.
That's so
and you can read my coverage of We're Here on Decider, and you can also follow Barb Hardley on Instagram and YouTube and blah 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 blah.
Brett, wait, did you not fucking tell me that, or did I forget? Because I know I have a terrible memory.
I don't know. I guess not. I think I meant to mention it during the X-Men recording, and I did not, because that was Thursday, right?
Yeah.
So that was the day before it happened. So it just aired on Friday.
Oh, okay. That's so cool. Oh my God.
But yeah.
Well, everyone go check that out, and we will see you next time. Bye.